So when you jump into Silent Push, what you'll see is something like this: a basic search bar that says, hey, what do you want to know about a particular domain, IP? We support both IPv4 and v6. Do you want to enrich an ASN, or even go out there and live scan a IP domain or URL? I was taking a look at this about a week or so ago, where this guy, David Chang, on Twitter was complaining that he had been talking with a North Korean actor. And so one of the things that really stuck out to me here was this domain, businessmeet.xyz. So let's just go in and take a look at this. If we just type in businessmeet.xyz here, we will break out what we know of as the total view of this particular domain. So this allows us to get a couple of different things. You'll be able to pull in OSINT feeds as part of this here as well. So here you can see this was part of MallTrail. But at the same time, there hasn't been much else as part of this. We don't really understand much more from a DNS record. We don't understand much from a variance perspective. And there's no response when we actually go out and try to hit this domain. However, if we look back at this particular post, we actually see that they're using a subdomain. So what we can do here is actually hit this include button, and that's going to include all the different subdomains into this table as well. And you can see here now that we have two extra subdomains that we have not seen before, Straightfire and RWA. All three of these different subdomains have been pointing to the same IP. And so what we can do is we can just left click that IP, hit total view, get an idea of what we were able to see on this IP, and then we can break this out even further. So now if we take a look at this particular IP here and scroll down, you can actually see all of those different A records. And here you can see some of those different ones that we've been able to identify that all have meeting or Zoom or Teams-based nomenclature attached to it. So the idea here is that this might be dedicated infrastructure. But if we scroll up to the very top, we can also see a couple of different things. When you hit this IP right now, today, you can see that there is a HTML title responsive Zoom meeting. There is an error message that we're getting back via a screenshot, and they're running Apache on Windows, which is another telltale sign of DPRK infrastructure. Now, to find additional infrastructure that looks like this, we can always take a look at our scan data. And so if we expand any of this out, you can see all of these different pieces here. But one of the things that I really want to take a look at here is that favicon data. And so in particular, I can use that favicon MD5 with the hypothesis here being that they're lazy, they're copying and pasting their infrastructure. We can hit equals to, and we will see in our data set all the other times that we have seen this infrastructure appear across the internet, particularly with that favicon itself. And so here you can see a bunch of different IPs, including the one that we had seen before. And on top of this, we can always go out and see if this is dedicated infrastructure as well. And there we go. This is basically how we create a lot of those different fingerprints from a very simplistic perspective, but there's much more here that we can do with the tool to make sure that our clients are being protected through proactive threat intelligence and not necessarily just focusing on the reactive end.